Okay, let's go.
He wants to jump
1,000 cars. Sir, you have 1,000 cars.
I don't think I'd attempt to try this stunt.
Or we owe this horsepower to Uncle Sam.
Too many cars.
Car. Roses would be.
Like I put my beer belly on it.
If you can't immediately tell somebody how many cars you have,
you'll really give those uppity yuppies something to think about.
Stay on the bar. Don't go off the bar with your Bronco.
1980 Volvo horns, what's right? I want a man's coolant.
and he's like, "Oh, I thought it'd be small. It's for a small car." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's still an automatic transmission. They're never going to be light."
It's definitely going to have to crash.
Starting off with Brad buying another car.
That's the West. Internet.
Is this a Nigerian oil print?
I also wish you drove a tan Camry.
Anyways,
Anyway,
that's a
horrible,
very
horrible podcast content.
very
Talking about a picture.
inside joke.
It loves to be driven hard.
Welcome to Auto Off Topic. What's up, Brad?
Evening, Andrew. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I like how we play that off like we haven't been chatting for 20 minutes before we record.
Yeah, we should.
all
We
good.
used to do cold opens when we're actually in person. I would just hit record, but it's we don't do that
A
anymore.
little more difficult doing it this way.
Yeah, because it gives you a countdown.
And make sure you know I'm ready and not making all kinds of weird noises.
Yeah, chewing candy or something. I don't know.
I could be. Usually not candy because of my condition, chips, but something.
Whatever.
The pure sugar is not, although it was Easter last week, so there was a lot of sugar around here for a while. But it lasts a lot longer when nobody eats the sugar. And also I was given Peeps, but I can't eat those until they're old and stale. So
Oh, you like them when they're crunchy? I don't like them at all.
I do like them when they're crunchy, yes. I don't like them soft. They're just sugar-covered sugar. And
I only
it's
want-
more obvious when they're soft.
Yeah, because they're marshmallow. I only like chocolate. So I actually had some. Well, it's probably been quite a long time, but do you remember Bunch of Crunch? I had some of those.
Of course.
Because we were at the movies on Sunday, so I had them left over. I actually didn't eat them. I didn't finish them during the movie, surprisingly.
What movie did you see?
We took Marco to the new Mario movie in IMAX.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
a
that was an
movie.
IMAX movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. The first one I actually really enjoyed. This one was kind of like, they really are just trying to cash this in.
Cash grab for sure.
But whatever. He liked it.
I mean, children love things with flashing colors and cartoons, so they're a very easy sale, I think, a lot of the time.
Yeah, and the IMAX theater is a really good place to watch it anyway. So
I still haven't seen the first one, so. Well, I mean, I've seen the 1980 whatever one, but I have not seen the most recent Mario Brothers movie.
it's fun. You should, when you have the kids over, you guys should watch it. It's on Peacock streaming if you've got that.
Okay, I do.
Yeah, it's definitely, because as an adult, as you're watching it, you'll see all the Easter eggs. You'll totally appreciate all the stuff.
Well, stuff from the NES games.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff in the way they did it, and then some of the characters you'll recognize.
I'll have to give that one a go.
So also all the there is a Hot Wheels of the plumber van, I think, from it. Come to find out,
I think there is, yes.
and a lot of the cars in it are very Japanese looking, like they're little cube cars.
Okay.
It's kind of fun the way they did it, but
Yeah, I think Hot Wheels in the what do they call it? Pop culture series.
yeah,
I think did the van from the movie.
Yeah.
I saw it at the store a few times, but I had no connection to the movie, so I did not buy it. Unlike Greenlight, who did the Home Alone van, which I bought immediately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never
or
did
Hot
find
Wheels
the
doesn't.
the Stranger Things stuff.
The model kits?
No, didn't they do a Hot Wheels scale of the Steve's BMW?
I think it's coming out. It has not come out yet.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a Hot Wheels or if it's gonna be an Auto World thing because Auto World owns all of the
Oh,
companies that produce the model cars, and I
cool.
know that they are doing the 124th or 125th, I forget which scale, kits of all the cars from the show because there's a kit of Billy's Camaro, of the K-Squawk van, of Hopper's Blazer, and the pizza delivery Volkswagen are all available from Revell in kit form. So that's the same company that owns Auto World. So my guess is that was an Auto World casting, but I don't remember. So anyway,
Nice.
I still have not watched the final season, so I shouldn't even be talking about it. I guess I only know the K Squawk band is because of Malika coming out.
It's worth watching it. Should definitely
I
watch
keep
it.
meaning to. It's just it's been I've been busy, and I don't want to watch it like on my phone. I want to watch it like on a full TV screen, and just having the time to sit down and watch the TV show just hasn't been there. It's been a
Mm.
busy few months, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess. A lot going on. Speaking of which,
Yep.
want to get right into project car updates?
We might as well. I think you have a bunch. I have some too, but I'll let you go first because I
Okay.
think you made even more progress, I think, than I did. Well, you did because your car
Yeah,
moves.
it does under
Spoiler
its
alert.
own power with its own fuel tank attached to the car with its own fuel in its own fuel tank. So yeah, we're talking, of course, about the '84 Starion. It moves under its own power for the first time in who knows how long. I know the plates were like 21 or 22, but I feel like it sat longer than that, just based on the condition of things on the car. And stuff doesn't go that bad that quick sitting for like 2, 3 years. It goes that bad sitting for like 10 plus years. So let's get right into it. Last week when we left off, I said by next time we record, the car will move or the car will drive. So thankfully, we're recording on our normal night this week and not Tuesday, because if it was Tuesday, it wouldn't have happened. But here on Thursday, it has happened. The car drove last night. It didn't drive far. I backed it out of the garage and drove back into the garage. But what that did prove was that the brakes work, the clutch works, and then transmission works at least first and reverse. Also proved that all of the reverse lights and the brake lights work. And it proved that the brakes work. In fact, the brakes feel like good. Like they don't feel even a little bit soft. So that's a really good sign. All the belts, I mean, I'll replace all the belts, obviously, but nothing squeaked or squealed in any weird way. There's no knocking coming from the motor. Everything just kind of worked. I'll say kind of because we're not 100% there yet, but kind of worked.
Didn't seem to
It was
smoke.
not, what's that?
No smoking out of the exhaust.
No smoking out of the exhaust, which was a huge relief. That doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, because once things start to go through a few temperature cycles, maybe something will happen. But I was nervous about it needing valve seals.
Yeah.
Um, Again, it may still need them. We'll just have to put some, heat cycles through it. I didn't even have it running long enough last night to get up to temperature. So I'm gonna have to I want to change the oil and stuff before I do that. But um it wasn't the simplest task getting there. I think I don't know where we were last week. Let's see, we recorded last Tuesday or Thursday, weekend, yada yada. The tank wasn't in the car yet, but it was being prepared to put in the car. I think it was Monday night or maybe Sunday night last weekend where I was working on the car and my friend Chris was over helping me work on the car. And I had got the fuel tank in and mounted. The only thing that was left when he got over here was we had to get the filler neck attached, and then I was trying to get all of the lines from the hard line at the firewall up through the filter and up to the throttle body. So I had bought a kit from Mikey over at MKS Motorsports that converts all of the rubber hose under the hood to a stainless steel with AN fittings. So I was getting that all set to put on the car. And on Monday, so this was Monday night. Let's think. This was not that long ago, but it was long ago. We're trying to put the fittings in the filter, and we realized that the fittings don't fit the filter, which is odd. So I take the filter apart out of the car again and look at it, and one side's a 12 mil thread, and the other side's a 14 mil thread. And I look it back up online, and the Starion is supposed to have two 12 by 1.25 threads on either end, and this filter has a 14 by 1.5, I think, on one end of it. I was like, well, this isn't going to work. Now I can't even put in the factory style parts because they have the other size fitting, and I can't put the aftermarket parts in because they're for the 12 millimeter, not the 14 millimeter. So I looked it up online, and according to MKS's website, it's supposed to be a 12 by 1.25 in and out. So I was like, that's interesting. Well, at this point, we're discovering this. It's like 5 minutes of 9. And the part store closes at 9. And I was like, man, that stinks. They show it in stock too. But nonetheless, I was like, well, we have that late night part store here in town that's open till at least midnight. It used to be open all night, but ever since COVID, it's only open till midnight. I was like, let's hit that store up. We'll go down there and we'll get it figured out what we need to do. Excuse me, it was not 5 of 9, it was 5 of 10. So we get down to that part store. It's all open. They show it on stock on their website. I'm walking up to the door, and as I'm walking up, I see the guy inside lock the door. I'm like, what's going on?
I saw you coming. Not this guy.
Pretty much. Yeah. This guy wants 80 car parts? Get out of here. I walk up the door, and there's a sign on the door that says, due to system updates, we will be closing from 10 to 11. I was like, yeah, of course. Well, I don't really want to wait here till 11. It's a Monday night. I guess I'll just go home and we'll deal with this tomorrow at this point. This is now a tomorrow problem. But I was like, no, maybe the other midnight advanced auto parts has the thing. AutoZone, advanced. I don't know, one or the other. One of them doesn't exist anymore. One of them does. I think advanced is gone. I think it's AutoZone that the place is. So I was like, hey, I yelled through the door. I was like, is the other store open? Like, yeah, they already did their update. They're all done. You can go there. I was like, cool. So we started driving over there. Chris is driving. And I'm like, you know what? Let me pull this up on my phone real quick and see if they even have it in stock there. And of course, they did not have it in stock at the other store. So, like, well, it wasn't meant to be. Just let's go back to the house and we'll call it a night. So that was Monday, either Sunday or Monday. I don't remember. So I couldn't do anything. I sent the pictures of the filter to Mikey over at MKS, and credit to him where credit is due. He was very apologetic. He doesn't understand how it happened because he only orders one particular kind of fuel filter because all he does is Starions. So the only thing we can think of was this one particular filter must have been mispackaged from the factory, and of course I got it. So
Feels very you. It's on brand.
yeah, very on brand lately. Anyway, it was like $20 of a $500 parts order. I'm not even gonna like try to get a refund from him or anything. He did offer to send me another one. I was just like, honestly, don't even worry about it. We'll just chalk it up to a loss. Just check your other ones before you send them out to customers. He's like, no, 100%. Thank you for the heads up. I'll make sure that, the rest of them are correct. So not a big deal. I was able to get it locally. It's just a, standard Mitsubishi fuel filter. I think they use the same one. It's the same one on like my Colts and the same one on the Eclipse and the same one on, if I remember correctly, even the Evo had the same style filter on it. Like, I think they use this filter for at least 30 years, which is probably why all the parts stores have one in stock, because it fits almost every Mitsubishi on the road. It's that standard style You know exactly what I'm talking about. It has like the crown on top for the hose to fit in. And anyway, so I managed to go the next day, figured out the whole fuel scenario. It must have been Sunday. This is now Monday night. So Monday night, I get the whole thing all taken care of. I get the fuel filter. I put it all together. We put fuel in the tank, put about 5 gallons in the tank. I have Naomi stands in the front of the car. I have not connected the feed line to the throttle body yet because I wanted to monitor the fuel as we're trying to prime the system coming through the system to see when it gets there. So I don't rack my brain trying to figure out why the car won't start. So she holds it into an old milk jug until we get fuel coming through. The first couple of spurts of fuel are a little questionable looking. I assume it's residue that was left in the hard lines that didn't get flushed out. But once that fuel came through, everything else looked pretty clean. There's no sediment in there. It was pretty, fresh fuel. I was like, cool. So we'll stop this right now. I'm going to attach that feed line to the throttle body, and we're going to get this sucker to fire up, hopefully, on its own fuel tank. So now this is all closed up. Fuel's in it. Crank it over. It fires almost immediately. It's idling rough, like very rough. Shut it off. Cycle it again. Fire it up. Same thing. It's idling, but it's rough. Shut it off. And I hear what I feel like is dripping fuel. And I was like, that sounds like dripping fuel. So I look at the front of the car and it's a like geyser of fuel coming down. And I was like, great. One of my fittings must have been not quite tight or something. So I have her get in the car and start it while I watch to see where the fuel is coming from. And the second it makes ignition, it is spraying out like a fire hose from the injector. I was like, these seals are obviously quite bad. So the injector seals are hard as a rock. No question. Definitely not usable. Nobody local has injector seals. I'm like, well, I guess I'll order some injector seals and wait for them to come. And it is what it is. We need a few days of, figure out everything else here anyway. I got stuff going on tomorrow. Not a big deal. I'll get back to this on Wednesday. Thought that was going to be a good idea until I realized the tank was leaking as well, which is a huge bummer because I'm sure everybody remembers my whole saga with the tank and having it not repairable, repaired, not repaired,
Mm.
kind of repaired.
Mm-hmm.
Looks beautiful, but apparently we missed a pinhole because it was
Ah.
like the smallest amount of fuel dripping out. It wasn't even dripping. It was just pooling on the bottom in one spot.
Hmm.
So I checked all around the tank to make sure it wasn't coming out of the top or out of the side or anywhere weird. It was not. It was just coming out of one little pinhole in the bottom. So we decided that we're going to run to the parts store after doing a little bit of online research and grab some JB tank weld
Okay.
because supposedly it's pretty good stuff. So we went and grabbed some JB tank weld, came back to the house. I sanded the tank where the leak was. And of course, as I'm sanding it, I'm like flexing the crack and making it worse. Now it's pouring out, of course. So Naomi has a great idea to take a bar of soap and rub the bar of soap in the crack, which will keep the surface of the tank dry enough, long enough for us to cover it in the JB Weld tank seal.
What?
Works perfectly.
Would have never thought. Where did that come from? Would have never thought of that.
No idea where the idea came from, but she had it from something, and it worked perfectly. Like honestly, I rubbed the bar of soap on there. It just fills the crack in just a little bit, and it stopped it from leaking long enough to put the patch on. Problem was, somewhere we screwed up in the
Now you're blowing bubbles out these us. So
yeah, pretty much. No, somewhere we screwed up in the like prepping of the tank weld, and it got super hot and it turned super hard in like 30 seconds. So that was a failure. So we're like, you know what? Let's try this different, but let's walk away. We'll try this again tomorrow. Not a big deal. I'm not going to stress too much about it. We'll figure it out. This is on Monday night. So Tuesday, I have to go to work, not even thinking about it. Naomi actually had already ordered some more tank weld to be delivered to the house. Tuesday night, I'm meeting back up with Chris, who's helped work on the car, friend of the show, Ron, and I were all going to a metal concert in downtown Tempe. So I didn't have time to work on the car Tuesday night. I go out to the garage. I don't even remember why I went out to the garage. So let me back up a little bit. Under the car, we had put the lid to a black and yellow tote to start catching the fuel as it was dripping when we were working on it. And then I put a 5-gallon bucket on top of that so that after we walked away, any fuel would be caught in that bucket. So I went out to the garage after work before I was going to the show. And the smell of fuel when I opened the garage door was nauseating, of course. But I figured it would be because there was a 5-gallon bucket that was slowly filling up with fuel. I didn't know how quickly it was going to leak. I knew I had put 5 gallons in the car. I'd run the car a little bit, but probably only, a couple ounces had gone through, not gallons. So I get to the back of the car and I noticed that the yellow tote lid is completely full of fuel and it's leaked all over the floor.
Overflowed your bucket?
No, the bucket had almost nothing in it at all. So apparently the bucket had a crack in the bottom of it, which we did not know. The kicker of this whole story is we had 5 brand new Harbor Freight buckets that we had bought to get to transport rocks home this weekend. And I didn't use one of those. I used this old white bucket that was from the plaster in the garage. So I guess stupid move on my part. Anyway, so now I'm pissed. But now also I am Chris's ride to the show because his car is at the body shop and he can't take his wife's car because she's doing other things for the car that night. So I'm like, I don't have time to deal with this right now because if it was just me going to the show, I would have, whatever, I'll be late. It's fine. But I'm not going to also make my friend be late to meet our other friend for dinner before the show. So I don't know what to do. I'm kind of panicking, kind of running around. Then I remember we have these. Do you remember the big absorbent socks that we had at our high school when it rained out because our ceiling leaked everywhere?
Yeah, or the windows leaked. The whole
Yeah.
building leaked. Yeah.
Right. Our, at the time, 15-year-old or 20-year-old school.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I have similar things here because we use them when it's monsoon season because the way the old driveway is pitched next to the house, it pools water next to the house and it can seep under the garage wall into the front garage. Just a poor design that predates us, and fixing it will require so much effort and work that we just haven't done it until we're going to redo the wall. So we have those absorbent socks that are full of sand or kitty litter or whatever. I was like, oh, I'm going to grab one of those because it's not monsoon season. And I'm going to dump it all over the spill. That will at least contain the spill. I'll change out the bucket, put one of the new buckets under here. I'll go to the show. I'll come back from the show. And then I'll deal with actual cleanup, even though it'll be probably 11:30 at night and I'll be not in any mood to do it. I just don't have time to do it now. So I left, did that, spread the sand out, changed the buckets. Was like, this is good enough for now. So I'm at dinner with Chris and Ron, and I pull up the camera to show them what had happened because obviously I want to share my misery at this point, right? You're going to laugh. I have to laugh stuff. But I do that, and Naomi had come home from work in the meantime, and I had called her and told her what happened. But because she's the best, she went out there and she actually cleaned up all of the fuel spill. So I appreciate that tremendously. But anybody who knows Naomi knows that once she starts doing something, she doesn't stop until it's done. So she also took it upon herself to, while I was out enjoying myself, having dinner and going to a concert, she was in the garage and she patched the tank as well. So no complaints there at all. I couldn't be any more happy with choices I have made. So she patched the tank and then she set it up with a radiator drip drain pan, one of the green ones, full of kitty litter, and put that underneath the car, and then took the camera from the garage, like the security camera, and put it on a little tripod facing into the kitty litter so that we could monitor it from our phone to see if it was leaking again for the rest of the night. So not me over here at this concert enjoying myself watching the band Era and Currents for anybody curious. Watching the bands, constantly looking at my phone to see if the tank is leaking. And it did not. So all was good. So now all I have to do when I get back is nothing. It's all cleaned up, tank's patched, nothing to do. I came back. I got back. It was probably about 11:30. Once I had looked at it, it was setting up. It was pretty stiff already. It wasn't malleable anymore. There was no fuel leaking. All good. The last test now is when the system gets pressurized again, because that's when it started leaking the first time. So fast forward to last night, Wednesday night. I don't have my injector seal kit in yet. So I say, you know what? I'm going to pull the injectors and I'm going to kind of judge the condition of them and figure out what needs to be done, because I remember with the other Starion, I had to clean the injectors and I had to build this little kit with using a valve stem with the core removed and some carb clean, an aerosol can, and a 9-volt battery to shoot the carb clean through the fuel injector as you cycle it with the 9-volt battery. I was like, well, if I have to do that, I can get that prepared for when the seal kit comes in. So I pulled the injectors out, and they are horrific looking. Like, the bodies are rusty, the seals are trashed. It just looks like you can see the tip in the bottom of the injector. It just looks clogged.
Weird.
I was like, well, this is not ideal.
Just pull them out of the other car.
So then my brain said, well, I have a whole parts car on the other side. And I know the injectors are good, or they were good anyway. So I pulled the injectors out of the other car. Thankfully, to take the injectors out of this car, it's very simple. It's very rudimentary fuel injection. It's a throttle body style injection, so it only has 2 injectors. It's an early Starion, so they actually are both the same size, and they fire in sequence. So, like, one does cylinder 1 and 3, and the other one does 3 and 4, I guess. Sorry, 2 and 4. And they fire in sequence back and forth, unlike the later cars that have primary, secondary. So the primaries are done for low boost, low rev, and then the secondary comes on for high boost, high rev. So different style setup. Thankfully, both these cars are the same, so they have the same injectors in them. So I pull the injectors out of the other car. They're only held in by the top hat, which has 2 Phillips head JIS head screws on it. Take them out. They're definitely cleaner in that car than the ones in this car. And then I remembered that I had them rebuilt at some point, probably back in like 2009. So they're fairly clean because I only driven the car maybe 10,000 miles. So they're still fairly clean, but it hadn't run in a few years. So the bottom of the injectors kind of had that like goopy, that dried up fuel look to them. It's kind of like it almost looks like honey. Like it's just this brown, glossy, chunky liquid, which was stuck on there. So we got some fresh fuel, put the fresh fuel in a container and soaked the injectors in the fresh fuel, and then did the trick with the carb clean and the 9-volt battery to run to run the carb clean through them, clean them out again. Seemed to be good, seemed to be spraying. The seals on them are very good. They're very pliable because I had recently changed them. Like probably I did a fuel pressure regulator in the car in like I think 2015 or 16. And when I did that, I also put new injector seals on it. So I knew it already had new seals on it. So thankfully those seals are still pliable, still good. So I just said, you know what? We're going to run these for now because eventually the plan is to upgrade to the later style injectors with the secondary primary. But for now, we're going to run these and use these to run the car. Got those in the car, get the whole system sealed up. Moment of truth finally here after 3 or 4 days of comical errors, and car fires right up. So sputtered a little bit, but eventually it smoothed out pretty good to the point where I was able to back the car out of the garage and drive the car into the garage under 100% its own power with no drama at all. I actually posted a video to my personal Instagram and the Auto Off Topic Instagram today. If you want to hear the car run or see the car move, that's where it's at. So as of right now, that's where we stand. So last night the car drove. I've checked the fuel tank a few times today after pressurizing the whole system, and there are no leaks. So the whole bottom of the car is dry. So that's a positive sign. The fuel system seems to be working. So that's a positive sign. So the hope today is to put another 5 gallons of gas in it and drive around the block after podcast. And I almost wanted to cancel recording podcast tonight because I don't know that I can wait long to go out and do that. So I am very excited. So huge thanks to everybody who's been involved with this project. Mikey over at MKS for getting the parts, Naomi for helping in general with everything, Chris for helping with some of the final assembly, and of course Ron for helping go get it when we went and got it. So cannot thank everybody enough or be happy enough with everything that's going on with this car. So it seems like we're on the up now, and there shouldn't be too much going on with the car until it's ready to tear apart for its new upgrades, but everything seems to work. Stay tuned for the next episode when I know exactly how it drives and if it
Yeah.
goes out of first gear. So,
Yeah.
and the clutch even felt like good. Like the clutch grabbed where it should grab, the brakes grabbed where they should grab. Like everything worked. Oh, and the car has a broken passenger's window, as I've talked about in the past. I did get a window for it as well. I have not installed it yet. That's on the list as well, but I did
You
get a
know,
passenger window for it.
that's like every once in a while I forget that the window regulator in the Volvo is broken and that there's a piece of wood in there jamming it up. Like I'll look at it because I've been working on the inside of the car. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to fix that window at some point too.
You
I
just
just keep
need
forgetting.
to take the door panel off the inside
Yeah,
and just have
it's,
2 pieces of wood, one
it's
long
super
one and
simple.
one short one.
Yeah, it's pretty
You can have
simple.
the window up, halfway down, or all the way down.
Yeah. So
No, I gotta change the window. That's my next plan with the car. But after I've driven around the block and kind of see what else it needs, because this is the final the final test is this weekend. If the car is not 100% perfect, I have to concentrate on getting another car 100% perfect because the first weekend in May is that rally in California. So
okay.
hopefully this car will make it. If not, we'll prep a backup car. So
All right.
so the point is now is that I'll probably keep the car bone stock. Oh, I said it again. That's one of our words.
Yeah.
I'll probably keep the car stock,
Yeah.
um, leg bone stock specifically
Okay.
for this rally. And then after that happens and I put some more miles on it and I perfect everything, then we'll start going down the modification train a little bit so that by the time it's ready for the next rally, which will be probably my rally in October, it will be a completely different car and I'll be able to kind of haven't driven it both ways. So
Yeah, there you
we're
go.
going to run the stock suspension, stock ECU, stock everything for this first event with the Enki 92s off the other car.
Yeah.
I'll clean those up tonight. Let's get some fresh tires for those. And then once that's done, driving around for a while, I'll change the suspension out and then I'll put the watts on the car when the car is lowered. Because I think that will look
Okay.
way better on the car when it's lowered. And the Yankee
We'll see.
92s will look good. No, it'll look good. Have you ever seen pictures of a flat body Starion with watts on it?
I have.
It's a good look. It's been the look in my dreams for years now, so it's going to happen. And the Yankee 92s will also look good on the Sapporo, so it's gonna work. Anyway, I'm excited. The car moves. That's at the end of the day. What else can I say, right? The car moves. It's so stoked, so happy. It's not even super super loud, and I thought it would be because the muffler has a giant hole in the side of it. But we'll have to fix the exhaust too, obviously. It blew
Mm-hmm.
rusty chunks of metal all over the garage when I started it.
Ah. Okay.
Anyway, that's my project car updates. I obviously haven't worked on anything else because that's been 100% of my time. Oh, I also one of my favorite things on the old Starion is the roof spoiler, or the hatch spoiler, I guess you should say.
Mhm.
So I removed that from the old car to clean it and install it in the new car. So that's also a soon plan. But I'm hoping I can get enough miles in shakedown between now and Sunday. That Sunday we have Kyusha Club here in Phoenix, and I can bring it to Kyusha Club for its first outing. That's the hope.
Nice.
We shall see.
Sounds
Anyway,
good.
Andrew, that's my project update. What have you been working on?
Well, the Volvo, of course. And I talked about the headlight wiring. The main
You did?
power feed wire for it was fried, scarily fried. I don't know how the
Yeah,
car didn't burn down fried.
like had been on fire for sure.
Yeah. Um, Luckily it was a very short wire right up into the dash. So I got an inline fuse holder and took a little bit of extension wire and made a new wire. I basically just wired around it and just taped that wire to the outside of the harness and just cut out
So we're
the
ignoring the
old one.
old broken one.
Yeah, it's just in there. It's not hooked to anything. I cut it back. It was really involved if I wanted to dig it out of the harness because it's kind of wrapped around. But I just followed the loop around. It's literally goes from the ignition to the light switch, which is half a foot away up in the dash. So
So now there's
uh,
no power going to it or from it, so you should be fine.
the original one, yeah, I
Yeah.
just eliminated it, and I have a wire that has a 20 amp fuse in it now, just in case. And in a way, I can get to it if it blows for some reason. I can actually get to it. So, um, yeah. So all the lights work now, except for the brake lights. So my dad and I went through that the other night. We checked stuff. The bulbs worked. Like, okay. The wires had continuity. So we followed all the way back. It's the brake light switch. 99% confident brake light switch.
Okay.
So it's just an electrical switch. It actually doesn't look like the one that the Volvo parts place sells. It looks different. It looks like one of the crummier aftermarket ones that are on Rock Auto. Like the
Okay. Like a generic help brand one.
Yeah. So maybe that's why it went bad. But yeah, it's just the type of switch where I think most brake light switches are like this, where
Just
you
a plunger.
you think a switch, if you don't realize it, you're like, yeah, switch, and you press the brake pedal, it closes it and turns the brake lights on. No, it actually opens the switch,
Well,
essentially.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
and you push the
so it's
brake.
grounded when you're off the brake and you
Well, yeah, it releases the little plunger, and that makes the circuit connect when you press the
Okay,
brake
so you're
lever
saying the
down.
plunger. Okay. So it's backwards of the way you think it would work mechanically, not electronically.
Yeah, but I think that's the way most brake light switches actually work because it's when you're off the brake, it turns them off. When you're on the brake, it turns them on.
Right.
But it
Just like
actually
the starter neutral safety switch in your Eclipse when it failed because you couldn't it
no,
was off.
that
Yeah.
that gets
Oh, it's
pushed in.
backwards. Never mind, you're right. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oops.
So yeah, you jump those two terminals at the switch, and the lights come on. So that's good. I know what that is now. And I didn't quite finish the fuse panel wiring because we were focusing on that. There's two more wires I need to connect under there. I found another wire stuffed under the dash that wasn't connected to anything. That's definitely a factory wire. So I got to figure out what that is, and I got to figure out why the wiper wire is cut um, to the wiper control. So, and then also I realized, yeah, the washer motor was wired around, they had a different aftermarket one, like an inline one. So that probably doesn't work. So I'll have to figure that out.
So many weird little things.
It's so many weird little things that I kind of understand why they did because either you couldn't get them or the this VP Auto Parts that I've gotten a lot of parts from does have a reproduction replacement washer bottle with because the pump is in the cap. It's kind of weird, but their version of it it looks like a nice part, but it's like $200. I'm like, eh. So I think in the meantime, I'll just put a generic one in there just to make it work, probably, and maybe it'll just stay like
Sure.
that. We'll see. Because unfortunately, you do need a working washer bottle to get a sticker in the state because they squirt the windows and wipe the washer, wipe the windows with the washer. You know what I'm saying?
Most things I own would not get a sticker then because that's one of those things I don't ever even think about.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, and the other thing I didn't check, hopefully the hazard switch works. That would also be annoying. So I need to
If all of
check
your
that.
turn signals and everything work, I'm sure it does.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's all wired through it.
that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The trend signals do work. Um. So yeah, it's in the high beams, high low now. I think I talked about that. The relay was wired wrong. Um. But yeah, that's really what I've been working on is just the wiring. So now I want to move. Like we had the tack just wired up under the hood because we were working on the engine, getting it running. We just needed to see the tack under the hood. So that needs to get moved into the interior. There's plenty of open holes in the firewall, unfortunately. So I don't have to drill
From
anything.
all these experimental wires.
Yeah, it just seems. I mean, a lot of them seem like they're factory holes with just missing grommets and plugs. So I'm gonna, go behind there with. Well, some of them are drilled, which is annoying. So I'm gonna use some of that 3M foil tape, plug some of those smaller holes with that.
You can
Put
also
some
go to
other.
Harbor Freight and get a plug kit. There's all little rubber plugs.
Okay, yeah, I've used some push pin body clips in a couple of them. Those have worked pretty well.
Yep.
Um,
I
I've got
think
a.
they sell a plug kit at Harbor Freight. It's like, one of those little plastic cases they have, like
Yeah.
the dividers in them. It's one of those full of just different size plug kits.
Okay. Yeah, we got one like that that's grommets. So I put a grommet one, put the little harness through it for the tack and the oil pressure gauge, and I'm gonna wire up the voltmeter. I gotta figure out the temperature sensor. I think it might be. Well, I know it on the engine one is new, but at the gauge, I think it's working correctly. But I should also double check when the fan's coming on. If it's coming on too soon, it's not actually letting coolant flow. So I have to make sure. That's gonna be a little tricky to make it because the other way, if it's not working, there's some sort of voltage stabilizer in the gauge cluster. That's a what do I call it? Forgetting what it's called, but it heats up and then closes, sort of like a thermo switch, thermostatic, maybe is the word,
Okay.
where it
So
it catches the right amount of voltage. It sort of like opens and closes. It somehow stabilizes the voltage going to the fuel gauge and the temperature gauge so they don't bounce while the alternator is charging.
okay. So
And
yeah, it's almost like a
a regulator.
condenser almost that
Yeah.
stops that from, yeah.
If it goes bad, then sometimes those gauges don't read right. So I have to double check that. But and I think there are ways to replace it. But it's just now I'm getting into like the little things, and then uh talked about before, bleed the brakes. I should really check the soft lines and see how good or bad they are because it's silly to bleed them if they're all dry rotted. I'll just get
Get new
uh
ones.
yeah, and again, I can get those through VP Auto Parts, so they're not terribly expensive. Um, it might actually even be cheaper to get their kit that's just a braided kit for it has every line versus buying the soft lines.
Sure. Kinda like what I did with the fuel lines in the Starion.
Yeah, and I'm
Definitely
not.
wasn't cheaper, but
Yeah, but I'm not doing a restoration, and if some of their lines are like $25, $12, and the whole kit is 300, it's like maybe I'll just buy the whole kit.
yeah.
So I gotta look at those next time I go over there. But yeah, that's really it's like it's getting there. I know it'll run. I'd like to run it again because I haven't run it in like a month or so. Now it's a little bit warmer out. Um, and hopefully soon that will also move under its own power because everything is connected. It should.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably just do it just to catch up.
Maybe.
Just to have the same sense of progress, I guess.
Yeah. The annoying thing is like, I don't have, it's got like, I don't know why like the washer squirters were like one of them's missing. It's got the ones that squirt through the vents in the cowl panel.
Right.
The Montero was like this, the 89. And of course, we talked about somebody cut ones into the hood.
How big is the hole?
And I don't know, normal washer nozzle hole size.
So, few millimeters.
Yeah,
I wonder if you could just leave them, like take them out, or just put
I have black ones I can put in there.
some very small black ones instead of running the ones that come through the cowl. Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do in this
It's
case.
kind of annoying. I wish somebody had not cut up the hood.
Well, it's not too big of a deal because the holes could be welded if you ever were to paint the car. So it just it is a weird. It's like they did that so they could put the lighted ones on. Like,
Yeah,
what a weird thing to do because the
it
other
is
ones are
weird.
still there, and all it is they took the feed line that goes to the metal ones and unhooked it. So it's not like they didn't work.
Yeah, yeah, it is weird.
Just a very bizarre thing to do. But I know a lot of early cars have the washers through the cowl like that. So just two metal pipes.
There's a bunch of little
Sweet.
weird things that I'm going to figure out. You know, like I've talked about, the vent hoses in the inside are just taped up with duct tape for some reason. Like the correct use of duct tape covering ducts, but I don't know
Yeah.
why. Like
I'm sure they were brittle and cracked,
no, they
is my guess.
plug right back in. I'm just wondering
Or
if
maybe they were falling down and
no, like the tubes that go into the ducts,
Yep.
like the vent, like the tubes from the heater box that would go to your vents to blow hot air for you are plugged. So I actually haven't confirmed that the blower motor works. So I'm like, did the heat just not work? And they're getting just air coming in through the cabin and didn't want it to be cold, maybe? I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe because they had that weird like 110 volts plug and heater in the back of the car.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah. Anyway, the good news is you're almost there.
Yep.
And even better news is you don't need heat, so it's fine.
Yep.
Not right away anyway, because it'll be summertime by the time you're driving it. So I still think you're good. You got about a month until the Marblehead Cruising first event, so
I'm going to try.
I think you'll be there.
All right.
If you can make that and I can make the rally, we both have been successful.
I hope so.
Mine's a little more ambitious, I think, but still.
Yeah. I'm just going next couple towns over. You're going to go a
Yeah.
whole state and a half over.
I'm gonna go a 14-hour drive away and then
Yeah.
drive for 3 days and drive 14 hours home.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be disappointed if the car does not make it. Let's put it that way. But I also hope the car will make it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll be very disappointed if I attempt to take the car, it doesn't make it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I'll be not disappointed if I don't even attempt to take the car. I'll take something else. But hopefully we don't get to that point. We shall see. Like I said, this weekend is gonna be huge for me, so we'll see what happens. But, good progress on both of our ends this week.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
Real quick NASCAR update. There was a race. It wasn't
There
good.
was a race.
It ended with a winner.
First time
I
winner.
can't even remember who won. Oh, I do remember
Ty
who won.
Gibbs.
I was very upset. Yes.
Nobody
Ty
likes.
Gibbs won his race. Yes.
And
The only one that likes Ty Gibbs is Coach Gibbs.
his
but-
mom.
Yeah, and his grandfather. But it was nice to see him get his first win. I mean, it's cool to see that celebration.
I mean, if there's any consolation, there'll never be his first win diecast. Just won't exist.
That's true because he had a Monster Energy sponsorship, and they won't authorized diecasts of those.
It's so weird. So
Yeah.
weird.
It's a weird thing to like,
If
because
I was a
you have
yeah,
a Red Bull car, they do it.
if I was a professional driver like that, I would not. I'd have it in my like contract for my agent that like I'd always have to have die casts be available for
Yeah,
cars
100%.
because that's like a
It's
huge
weird that
thing.
Monster won't allow it. I always assume that Monster and Red Bull are the same company, but apparently they're not because
No.
Red Bull allows it and Monster does not.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not some like energy drink law, like cigarette law or something. But
No, no, it's just their own personal feelings about it for some reason. I don't know.
yeah,
But I'm not disappointed because I wasn't planning on buying one anyway.
nope. Yeah, the race was at Bristol. I don't know. I don't know. Bristol seemed to have some mystique to it, but now I mean, there's barely anyone in the stands. Race just
So,
wasn't
w-
seemingly
what
very
I've
good.
learned about the stands at Bristol is it
Yeah,
has the highest capacity of any of the NASCAR tracks.
I feel like they used to be
I mean,
full.
no, they've never been full. Maybe they were full like in the 90s, the peak NASCAR.
Yeah.
But the attendance was the same as all the other races,
Oh, okay.
pretty much. It just looks like less because they haven't converted the seats into anything else. They're just all still seats.
Yeah.
So it's also one of the only tracks that's been in continuous use since the first racing back in the late 50s.
Yep.
So it definitely has a lot of history with the sport. Um, my thing with it is I don't think the new cars are very good there.
Yeah.
Whereas the older style of NASCARs that were more like rudimentary stock cars
Yeah.
were better there because Bristol is basically the same thing as like going to like your local, Star Speedway, like your local like Saturday night stock car track. But now you're running these multi-million dollar high-end independent suspension, sequential shift, modern race cars on this like old tiny oval. So it just kind of doesn't work right.
Yep.
It's kind of like the whole like driving a supercar in traffic, right? Like it just doesn't work as well anymore. And maybe they can do something with tires or make the cars too powerful for the track or something. I don't know, but it seems a little neutered now. The last 5 laps or so were pretty good, and it was pretty cool seeing Tyler Reddick back up there again, almost ready to win another race. I think if he had slightly newer tires, he may have done it. I think he just ran out of tire by the end there, him and Larson both, which I guess I'll take a Ty Gibbs win over a Larson win,
Yeah.
I
Kyle Larson
guess.
will win the race. He's like the last couple of Bristol races just dominated.
Yeah, and he was leading most of this race and didn't win it, so but anyway. And then another thing that happened this weekend was the Copper State kickoff. So the big Copper State 1000, like high-end rally tour. They do a big send-off for it with a not so fancy car show attached to it. But it's a good show because it's usually people that have interesting things, and it's not just, a typical downtown Phoenix event with G35s and Challengers.
Yep.
So that was a good time. Got to send off all the high-end cars. We had a little, I guess we'll call it a booth there for the Arizona Rising Sun Rally, just handing out some stickers and cards and little save the date notifications and some posters and generate some more interest in our event at this event. So that was kind of neat to have. But yeah, good day. A good
Cool.
day. Oh, and I saw a friend of mine picked up a Renault Clio V6.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, super cool car. I've never seen one in person. I guess that there are maybe 2 in the States because they just became legal to import. So he picked it up about 2 weeks ago in San Francisco and drove it home. Um, got to see that on Sunday. Took a bunch of pictures. Haven't done anything with them. I should probably post them. What a cool car! It definitely brought me right to my Gran Turismo dreams and thoughts and playing that car in that game. But he also has a Renault Turbo 2, so it's a good garage mate to go with that.
Yep.
Yeah. Vanity plate on the Turbo 2 is hips because of the quarter panels. So you got the matching vanity plate for the Clio V6 that just says hips 2.
Yep.
But very cool car. Silver with like a gray and blue two-tone kind of interior. with the Renault Sport embossed into the seats. Just super rad car. It's so like short and squat and like just neat. I dig it. That was this weekend. And then this weekend is Creator Club. And that's it.
All right,
So,
cool.
anything going on there for events? Or still too early?
Still kind of too early. We're getting there though. All right. Anything else?
I think that's gonna do it.
All right, cool. All right, as always, keep yours analog. Aim for the roses.